Good morning. I'm still a little bit wet, but now is the time to talk about Shinji Higuchi. My name is Michael. This is the Compendium of Discomfort. Welcome. If you don't know Shinji Higuchi, he's the guy who directed the very unpopular Attack on Titan live-action movies. And I still believe aren't even that bad. And of course, recently he made the lovely Shin Ultraman, and he was involved in Shin Godzilla. And I always recommend his movie Lorelei, which is pretty much not very seen among people. Letterboxd, there are 175 people who logged that. It's a very interesting movie. Kind of weird, but good. Yeah, anyway, Shinji Higuchi. Great guy, worked a lot with Anno, worked a lot for special effects. For example, I think, he did the Gamera movies. Or just one, seemingly. Guardian of the Universe. He did several Godzilla movies, like Godzilla 1985 and Return of Godzilla. And he worked on... I didn't know that. Wow. He worked on Seijun Suzuki's Pistol Opera, which is an absolutely fantastic movie. Gotta watch that. It's amazing. He was involved in the other two Gamera movies. I like the Heisei Gamera movies, so that everybody loves. The others are good too. Anyway, he did a lot of special effect monster stuff and should be well known by now. And he made a new movie. He made the Shinkansen Daibakuhatsu, so the bullet train explosion. If we trust the Japanese title, it's a big explosion. I would say it's pretty big. Yeah. That's a new Netflix movie, and everybody was excited. Like first, now after Shin Ultraman, everybody, at least at this point now, everybody loves Higuchi, and it's kind of a remake, everybody believed, of the old movie with Sonny Chiba from the 70s somewhere. I have watched that, but I don't really remember so well, so I didn't really have the time to rewatch it, but they're playing it in cinemas now, so maybe I will go and watch it if I find the time. I haven't really been to the cinema the last few weeks, or at least week or so. I'm getting... no. Anyway, so everybody believed it's a remake, but it's more of a sequel. So they actually play footage from the old movies. They reference it. It's something that happened in the world of this movie. And the most important information about this whole thing, this is basically speed before speed, like the original movie. It's about the Shinkansen, so Japan's bullet train, especially between Tokyo and Osaka. If you want to travel, it's really fast, like 3 hours or so, and you're there. So it's really good to travel Japan in any direction, and it's pretty fast. So here this movie says if the train gets slower than 100 kilometers per hour, the train will explode. Yeah, so if you know that from Speed, the original did it first. So anyway, so they made a sequel for Netflix, which is usually not so promising, but to spoil that, I was quite happy with it. Many people were a bit mixed. A lot of people say the first half is really great, the second half not so much. I think the first half is really great, and the second half is very much Japanese melodrama, and that's totally okay if you're used to that kind of stuff. But of course, many people go, oh, completely unrealistic and blah and whatever. And yeah, of course, I mean, yeah, what I always think is pretty funny are people who are like, what does this movie even want to say? What's the point? What's the big message? And I always feel, what's the big message of Indiana Jones? Like, fight Nazis, that's cool. Okay, that's a good message, but why not? Oh, that was strange. Or, I don't know, Speed. If we compare to this movie, what's the big message of Speed or Star Wars? Yeah, and people are always like, oh, this movie has nothing to say. Yeah, because it's like those movies, a big, entertaining action movie that has some ideas like, hey, government is not so great. Hey, police lies to you. Hey, all people lie. So very basic messages, but people always get caught in this idea that every movie must have a big, serious discussion of some social matter or something. Why? What's the point? If you want to entertain and throw in some broad points, that's good enough for me. Yeah, and some people even call this a soulless. And I'm like, why? What is a soulless movie here? I mean, there are obviously some people who wanted to make something. I mean, is it only like full of soul if you have a big message or something? Can't you make a movie that you want to make to entertain people? Is that bad? I don't know. What do people even mean when they say soulless? So yeah, I usually assume soulless means something that's just made as a commercial product, like nobody actually has any artistic motivation or anything that moves them to make this movie, but I don't think that's the case here. I mean, yeah, sure, it's a commercial film, but that doesn't mean that the people involved don't really care about what they're doing. Like, you can make an action thriller, and you can care about making an action thriller, even if you get money to make that, because it's a more commercial genre than, I don't know, drama about the hardships of the farmers in Venezuela or something. I don't know. Sure, it's a commercial genre, it gets money, people make it because they like fun and entertainment, and I guess that's good enough for me, at least. I don't know if if I want to watch the drama about the suffering of people in some part of the world where it's very hard, then I don't watch a movie that's called Bullet Train Explosion. Like, what are you even talking about? Like, what's going on, people? Is it just a phrase that you can throw in to say, hey, I'm watching more sophisticated movies, I'm watching something that's better than this trashy thing, and I don't know. People are funny. Back to the video. We will get to that at some point. Let's talk a little bit about the cast. There are many very famous people. Very interesting. We have Tsuyoshi Kusanagi, who was a member of the boy band SMAP. But he was, for example, in The Taste of Tea, same as Machiko Ono, who was in The Taste of Tea as well, and in other great movies, both of them. And then we have Jun Kaname, most known as for being in Kamen Rider. I forgot which one. Kamen Rider Agito. Yeah, he was one of the heroes, I guess. Not the main Kamen Rider, but he was there. And he did some other stuff too. For example, Kingdom or Turtles Are Surprisingly Fast Swimmers, which is an absolutely amazing movie. You should watch that. Kingdom is very good too. Then we have Non, most famous for, I guess, In This Corner of the World. She was in Confessions, but I don't even remember her being there. Probably she was just one of the students. And some time ago she did the wonderful The Fish Tale. And she's a musician as well, but And she was in that Pokemon concierge as a voice actor. Yeah, and we have Takumi Saito, Shin Godzilla, 13 Assassins, Shin Kamen Rider, Shin Ultraman, all that good stuff with Shin and 13 Assassins and some other stuff. Good cast. There's more people. There's a lot going on with a huge cast. And the references to Shin Godzilla are not by accident. This movie feels very, very much like Shin Godzilla or Shin Ultraman, in the sense of you have a lot of officials, not so many politicians, but station officials talking, having meetings, discussing what to do next, being sabotaged by the government, and all these good things that we love and enjoy from the previous movies Higuchi worked. I actually like that. And even like the camera work is not as crazy as maybe in Shin Ultraman or Shin Godzilla, but the meetings are presented in a slightly similar way, like sometimes like very, very fast editing, the odd camera angle here and there, but overall, it reminds still a lot of this Shin Godzilla energy. Yeah, so that's one focus point, and the other focus point is, of course, on the train where we have a class of high school kids. Of course, you can't have a story without high school kids. Then we have a politician who got in trouble because she did some mamakatsu. I think that's like compensated dating. And there's a rich writer who, like blogger writer, stuff like that. You have some influencers running around, or more like kids streaming everything. All these different groups, and there's one masked man who doesn't want to be recognized. And of course there's some interactions between these people. Of course, someone will recognize that guy, and someone will recognize that politician who got in some trouble, and all these things. And on top, we have the train conductor, this is Mr. Kusanagi, who has, of course, the ultimate work ethic and is like, I have to take care of everyone, no matter who it is, even if it's a potentially bad person. I have to serve and protect everyone. I'm your loyal servant. So a very idealistic, very typical Japanese approach to work. And he has one younger guy who helps him, but he's not that important. Anyway, so that's the basic setup. But at some point there's this phone call that says, hey, slower than 100 kilometers per hour, and boom. And that's the whole thing. And like I said, it's basically separated in two parts. The first part is very, very straightforward. They just try to save the train, try to get rid of that bomb, and to a certain degree that works. And then we have a much smaller cast, very decimated for several reasons. And basically they will be confronted with the actual bomber, and will try to take care of that situation. Like I said, there's a government official who always does some silly stuff to stop some plans and make life even harder. And it works out very well, I would say, the whole movie. The action is pretty good. It looks pretty okay. There's some shots that look a little bit cheap, and the light from outside that's shining like it's a bit too much for my taste. My favorite colors are very prominent here as well. The train is blue, but seemingly it's actually blue, so they didn't make that up just for the movie to get a certain color scheme, so can't complain about that too much. Anyway, that works out pretty fine, and that's a very intense thriller that you don't get from Japan all that often. So that's very good. That's very nice. The character dynamics are very predictable, but not bad at all. It all works fine for this kind of disaster thriller. Totally okay. And yeah, the second half we will have to spoil a bit, but it's much slower, much more character based, and basically like the quiet before the big boom. And I think that's totally okay. Some people complained, for example, that there's not enough explanation for the motivation of the bomber, but I feel like the first dialogue scene where the bomber is revealed explains everything you need to know, and then they keep explaining more. So I don't really get that complaint. It's totally okay. Of course, compared to the first half, the second half is much slower, so maybe you might feel like a little bit drags a bit. It's quite long. It's 137 minutes, so I get it if people feel a bit more like, hey, I want more of the bang boom bang approach that was very prominent in the first half, and we just don't get it until the big final escalation. So there's like, I don't know, 30, 40 minutes where the movie becomes very slow and character based. But I don't think that's bad. It's maybe a not very Hollywood style, but I don't think it's so uncommon in Japan. I would have to research other examples, but many Japanese movies slow down in the middle a lot. Very often for budget reasons, I would say, because you have some money to do a big spectacular start, and you have some money for a big spectacular end, and in between, you have to fill everything with character stuff. I think it might have been a bit shorter, but that's no problem. Similar problem once we go away from the actual train driving, like actual physically trying to get rid of the bombs. Non disappears for she's basically a non-factor. No, she just disappears for the whole time because suddenly she's not important anymore. So I would have wished that she has like 1 or 2 scenes more in there, but she's basically glued to her driver's seat trying to control the thing. So there's some uneven bits there. So it's far from being perfect, but I think it's a totally fine, entertaining movie. And if you're used to Japanese melodrama, it's not even like strange what's happening there. I get it why some people who, it's out on Netflix, so some people who don't usually watch Japanese movies might watch this and be like, what's going on here? But I think it's a very normal, very common approach to make movies in Japan. So I'm not surprised, not bummed out, nothing. For me was the thing, I watched it in 2 sittings because I had other stuff to do. So I watched the action half and separately the like drama half, and that worked very well for me. I don't know. I can't complain about this separation. It's just very clear, and if you like one, maybe you might not like the other one. But someone on Letterboxd said, so someone who actually liked the movie probably much more than I do. I was like, oh my god, Shinji, give me some time to breathe. But I felt like the second half has so much time to breathe. It's totally fine. But if you're into that kind of stuff, go watch it. It's a good, solid movie. There's some nice miniature action scenes at the end too. So Shinji doesn't go full CGI, which is good. I love that. And it's good. But let's talk about the spoiler stuff a little bit. So if you don't want to know anything about the big drama half, skip it, just watch the movie. I will have some other stuff at the end of the video. If you're interested in me opening my mail, then skip. There's a marker down there somewhere. Skip there and you can see me opening my mail. Anyway, so the big twist, like everyone's like, oh my god, who's the bomber? How did that happen? Is that it's one of the girls from the school class. And she basically hates her father, and her father was involved in the story of the first movie where he was a police officer, and he basically claimed that he shot the bomber at that time, and he's the great Japanese hero. And he obviously treats his daughter very, very badly, and now she's just done with it, and kills him, and then tells the people, hey, and that's the very, very Japanese part, very like high school thriller drama thing, you have to kill me to stop the bomb. Yeah, the girl says. And then of course we have this one guy who was a little bit disguised, who turned out to be a helicopter pilot, I think. And anyway, he was involved in some helicopter accident and seemingly killed some people. So he's basically, yeah, okay, won't hurt my reputation much more, so I can do that. And of course, then you have the train conductors like, nope, nobody gets hurt on my train. I will save this girl. And all these things. Yeah, you have the colliding personalities. You have this rich guy who tries to be a hero even though he's not. You have the politician who's like, oh, if I do something great here, I might be able to brush up my reputation a bit. So there are all these things coming together. So basically in the middle they have this big evacuation plan where they get out most of the people, but this group stays, like the politician, the rich guy, the teacher, this one student, the train conductor, the helicopter dude, and the second train conductor who's bleeding on the ground because of course there was some kind of fight. And then you have the conflicting personalities. So if you can handle the switch from an action thriller to this more drama-based thriller where it's just like, who will find the right solution, which is obviously another big action scene, then you will enjoy this. It's a good movie. If you're not into this very high school thing with, oh, I'm so depressed and I want to kill and I want to die and these things, then this is not for you, but it's a very common theme in Japanese thrillers and horror movies for young people. So yeah, that's just a popular theme. It's overall a very Japanese movie. Like, you have these themes, you have the parents who don't understand and who don't understand their kids and treat them badly. You have this crazy work ethic. You have to do everything for your customer. Customer is your god. You have this bureaucracy thing going on with the politicians being completely useless trash, and all these things that are very, very typical. I had a nice discussion on Blue Sky, not on Twitter. Come to Blue Sky, much nicer, about Higuchi's potential view on politics and police, because on the one hand politicians are being portrayed as pretty useless, but in the end they save the day somehow, or at least they're involved in saving the day. And the police has this problem that they present this one guy who didn't shoot the bomber in the original movie. He exploded himself, but they wanted to present themselves as the hero. So they chose this one guy and say how he shot him. And so there's a very problematic situation with the police, and basically everything is fake and a lie, and that's what this girl doesn't like. Even with her teacher, she has this, like, the teacher pretends that everything is okay, but always checks her if she's doing something funny or so. So yeah, we have these things that are not clear pro or contra or whatever, and I don't think, like, based on Higuchi's work and his work with Anno especially, I don't think they're both very political people. I don't think that he's completely against government in general. I said it in my Godzilla video about the nationalist stuff. That's pretty true here too. Like, Higuchi is obviously not happy with the government, and he portrays them as pretty bad losers and says, hey, they just stop everyone from having a good, reasonable solution to solve this problem with their bureaucracy and stuff. And which could be interpreted, especially now if we look at America, where it's all like, oh, the evil judges stop us from deporting criminals, which is just completely made up BS, because they stop them from not following the law. But you could apply the same logic here. Like, they have one solution where they change the tracks a little bit, but then they go and say, oh, you can't just change the tracks, that needs to be approved, and there needs to be there need to be bureaucratic steps be done and all these things, and so they can't do it, they can't save them that way. So yeah, that's always an issue. And I think, like I said about Shin Godzilla, or someone else had that idea, and I thought, yeah, that makes sense. Higuchi and Anno are just not very political people, or at least they don't have a very political line, or at least not in their movies. And it's basically, yeah, they criticize the stuff that they think is bad, but basically it's more like, we want a government that makes sensible, reasonable decisions based on information they get from experts. So basically just listen to the nerds. And that's not left, not right. It's just like, hey, in the face of danger, you have to make the right decisions, and they are unable to do that. I think that's the whole point of this approach. And yeah, with the police, I guess it's how they could make sense of making a sequel to that movie. And I mean, there are a million reasons to criticize the police, so why not? It fits the theme of lies and dishonesty. And yeah, but I wouldn't say there's a very strong political message here or something. Higuchi wants to tell you it's a entertainment-based movie, and not anything that wants to teach you about politics or stuff. So yeah, I think that's totally fair, totally okay. Like I said, the characters are pretty standard, the themes are pretty standard. It is nothing exceptional, but it's very entertaining, especially the first half, the second half, depending on your taste, more or less entertaining, and the final is pretty good. Nice model explosions shit. I like it. So it's a good movie. Watch it, give it a try, and I will open my mail now because I point out I didn't buy this at Amazon, even though the box says so. The sender chose to use an Amazon box. I'm not promoting Amazon here. Yeah, this is big. I didn't think this would be that big. but here we've got some and some more, and we even get these. I just want to point out, this is a book. Holy cow, what's going on? Lovely, I already love it. I was looking for that for quite some time, but it's out of print, and the prices in the second-hand market are a bit higher. Not as crazy as this movie. We will talk about this later. This was sometimes like 1 million yen online, and I didn't pay that much, but no. Oh my god, how much packaging is this? Oh my god, it feels good. Not the packaging, but the thing itself. Oh my god, what a beauty. A big black box. There's something written. Can you read it? It says The Art of Shin Godzilla, and let's take a look at it. Now, speaking of Higuchi, I think this is the script. Yeah, that's the script. I love movie scripts. Give me more movie scripts. I think it's very nice that in Japan they actually sell movie scripts, and then there's this huge book. Wow, posters. More stuff. Wow. So, that looks very nice. I don't know when I should read it, but it's a thick boy. And I'm very happy I finally got it, because, yeah, like I said, it's on the used book market, usually about 10 to 15,000, so not ridiculous, but still new it was 8,000, so like a third or more than the regular price, and I just paid the normal 8,000, so originally there would be another carton around it, but yeah, I guess as long as everything inside is okay, I'm very happy. It's heavy. It's really heavy. I love it. Yeah. I just thought by accident this arrived just before I started making this video, so I thought I could at least show you and share my joy for Mr. Higuchi's work. Cool. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you very much. Have a nice day, and see you as soon as I'm back. Can't take so long. We still have to talk about more V-Cinema, and we have to talk about Ken and Kaz, which is available on in Japan. It was unavailable for a long time. Now it's suddenly back on streaming, and it has been on Saka for some time, so watch it there, and then when I do the video you have seen it, and you will understand what I talk about, so good idea. Yeah, anyway, thank you, see you, bye.